Good morning. It's Monday, December 18th. Welcome back. We're happy you guys are here. If you guys are here. If you guys haven't subscribed, please do that. It goes a long way. Joe and I appreciate it. If you have any degenerate friends that like gambling and collectibles, make sure you share that with them. This is Bets and Breaks, the show for calculated risk takers. Gambling, sports cards, collectibles, brought to you by SeatGeek. If you guys like going to sporting events, music, concerts, all those kinds of fun, entertaining things, and you guys haven't downloaded SeatGeek, please do it and use my code Renato, R-A-N-A-U-D-O. You guys get $20 off your first ticket purchase. So if you guys are going to LSU games, if you guys are in Baton Rouge, where we are at Cards and Culture, you guys can use SeatGeek and download it and get your tickets $20 off, first-time users. Also, St. Rock Vodka and 7-3 Distilleries. We wouldn't be able to do what we do without them. Thank you, guys. And if you guys don't know what St. Rock Vodka is, it is the official vodka of the Bayou Traditions Collective, which means that you guys can drink vodka and support our LSU athletes. A portion of every bottle sold goes into the collective. That collective is then used for NIL dollars to fund, athletes, so that way they can get paid for their name, image, and likeness. And that means that we recruit better athletes. We have more Heisman winners. We win more national championships. So if you guys are Tiger fans, make sure you guys check out St. Rock Vodka. Good stuff all around. And Joe and I are excited. Joe, you are riding a high, 4-0 this weekend, baby.
Yeah.
That was fun.
And it was a sweat, too.
It was.
Bengals game went to overtime. That money line scared me a little bit. The Colts got down, had to come back, so that was big.
No, that was good. And you parlayed them too, right? It was a parlay too. Oof, that's nice. And I went 2-1. The show went 1-0. The picks were good this weekend. That's nice. So let's look at our schedule. Let's look at our records. I'm 18-13 because I bet a lot and take more than 3 sometimes. Joe, 12-7, and the show is 5-5. So we are even money, positive money, except for the lottery. We are 0-7. Actually 0-8 because we missed it by one thing. Russell Wilson just crushed our dreams.
That's what he does, though. So
yeah, he's a dream crusher. He's not. I want to see what the numbers were, because we needed 247 rushing and passing combined. I know late in the game he did not have it, and I'm pretty confident that he didn't get it, but because we didn't hit the parlay in my bet. Let's see. What team does he play for? He plays for the Broncos. I can't even find the Broncos score right now. Nope, that's the Bears and the Browns.
Yeah, he didn't get it.
I want to see what he finished with, though, because I just want to know, just for my own sanity. He was close. 223, 229. He just did not rush at all. He threw for 223, so he got his over on yards passing. His rushing yards were over-under was like 27, though, so he did not get that. So that's what hurts. But it was part of the lottery, so we move on. We got good picks today. We got a Monday night game. We got NBA action. All kinds of good stuff. So sports world's all about bouncing back. But we did well this weekend. Nothing crazy in collectibles. We talked about it last week. TOPPS Chrome Black released on Friday. Really cool product. It's only 4 cards in a box. So it's a spin on the traditional TOPPS Chrome product, but it's just a black. So it's just a little bit more of a premium product. Again, only 4 cards. You get an encased card in there. Guaranteed autograph and rookie card as well, which is really cool. So for the gamblers, that's one of your products. You only get 4 cards. You're trying to hit that home run. You pay, it's probably about a $200 product. You're paying $200, hoping you get at least a $200 card out of there with the autograph. Good stuff in there. College football Flawless comes out this weekend. That's super cool. That's a really nice product. We will have that in shop. Nothing crazy on the gambling news that I saw this weekend. Again, mainly football. There's a lot of NFL stuff, not a lot of college football, right? When does the playoff start? We got some time.
Playoff starts January 1 or December 31st.
Okay. I can't wait for that. What are your early thoughts? Early thoughts. I know we still got 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Give me a prediction.
I think everybody mad that Alabama got in is going to get a rude awakening when they win the whole deal.
Alabama.
Yeah. I don't if you look at the blue chip ratio in terms of so what the blue chip ratio is they look at the roster, and it is a percentage of 4 and 5 stars on your whole roster. Uh-huh. Well, the only players on Alabama's roster that aren't either a 4 or a 5 star are kickers, punters, long snappers. That's it. Every other player on their roster is either a 4 or a 5 star. And so, I mean, the talent disparity is unmatched. Like, they have the most talented team in the country on paper, and it's not particularly close. I want to say Michigan has 1 5-star on their entire team. I think Texas has like 4, and then Washington doesn't have any. And so when you're talking about talent on talent, Alabama's got it by a long shot. Then you go into coaching, Alabama's got it by a long shot. It's just about matchups. And look, I said preseason on the 10-second runoff, I said, I think if there was a year where Alabama, performed at a lower rate than we expected, it would be this year. But if they find a way in the playoffs, they're going to win the whole thing. And I think that's what we're going to see.
I actually thought that too. And before they got into the playoff, they were like plus 800 to win it all. And I was like, damn, that would be nice to throw that on there, plus 800. I feel good about that. And I just didn't do it.
Yeah. Now, to be fair, Texas beat them in the regular season in week 2.
Yeah. Is that who they're playing first game?
No, they played Michigan in the first game.
Ooh.
So that's Michigan and Bama, in my opinion, are the 2 best teams in the playoff.
And they're playing first game.
Yeah. They're playing first. Problem is, what Michigan's going to try to do is, look, Taylor Lewan tweeted about it. He played offensive line at Michigan. He said he went back and watched the film, and they're just going to run it right up the middle all game. You're not going to do that against Alabama. I don't really care what team you are, how good your O-line is. Like, they'll stack the box, and they'll be just fine. Oh, and by the way, they have 5 stars in their secondary. Try and throw it on them. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're going to have to put together a very consistent game. You're not going to be able to just score 2 or 3 times and call it a day. They held the best offense in the country to 28 points. Michigan's going to need more than that to win.
Yeah, no, I fully I believe that. I believe Alabama's winning it. It's so crazy how that goes. Like, you're just like, in the beginning of the year, we were writing off Alabama. It was like, is Saban done? Has the dynasty, and here we are at the end of the year. We're like, Bama's probably the best team. They're going to win the championship. Yeah,
and look, to be fair, I think this is probably the best playoff we've had, top to bottom.
Oh, nice.
I think.
You're talking about competition-wise, like quality of the games, like the right teams in, all of that?
I don't know if this is the best 4 teams in the country, but I do think I think it's 4 of the best 5. I think there's an argument that Georgia could squeeze in there and be one of the best 4. I think that's a pretty clear argument. I just don't know who you'd bump out. It would be one of Washington or Texas, in my opinion.
Right.
But all 4 really, really good teams. I just think Bama's the best of them.
Yeah. It'd be interesting to see.
Yeah.
I think a Bama and Washington national championship would be really interesting.
It would be very interesting. Washington's receiving group, Michael Penix Jr. was second in Heisman votes.
Yeah.
The Roma Dunze, Jalen McMillan, the wide receivers over there are unbelievable.
I know.
Dylan Johnson, the running back, even was like nobody was really talking about him coming into the season, and he had an incredible year. So I think no matter who wins the championship, we're gonna get 3 really good games.
Yeah.
I'm just predicting Bama to win it.
2 wins for a national championship. That's it. I like it. Bama. What are the odds on them to win it right now? Do you know?
To be honest, I don't even know.
I'm kind of curious just to see what the books say. Curious.
Here, I'll pull it up now. All right, so national championship odds. Michigan's plus 200, Bama's plus 220. So Michigan's the favorite, or Michigan's favored to beat Alabama. They're a 1.5 point favorite.
Yeah. What is that? Is that FanDuel?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, DraftKings has it. Michigan plus 195, Bama plus 205, Texas plus 260, and Washington plus 700. It's so funny how different books have different odds.
It's interesting. The Washington-Texas game is going to be really interesting to me because I would take Washington's offense over Texas's. But Texas defense is unbelievable.
Yeah.
Like, Washington's not going to be able to run the ball in Texas. I posted a clip on our account and said Texas is going to be able to throw against Washington. They have a really good passing offense. And everybody came at me like, you're talking about Washington. Washington's got a great passing offense. Why would you even make that point when they're playing a team like Washington? Because Texas has the best pass catchers in the whole country. Like, I'm not talking about just their receiving core, but their receiving core with A.D. Mitchell, with Xavier Worthy, and then you go to their tight end with Jatavian Sanders. Like, they got dudes that can catch the football over there. Quinn Ewers he started out the year slow, but he's turned into a really good quarterback. Probably going to stay around another year. Like, they have a really threatening offense and passing game.
Yeah.
And that's not to say Washington doesn't, but Texas has the better defense too. So I think those 2 things parlayed makes it interesting.
Yeah. Their backup quarterback at Texas entered the portal, right?
Yeah, Malik Murphy.
Yeah, so that's interesting to see. So, what?
The college football calendar is atrocious.
Why? What do you mean?
That's the problem. So outside of recruiting, you get 2 windows to transfer. It's right now. That window, I think it closes January 4th.
What?
So like the window is during bowl season. So they're literally telling kids, if you want to transfer, you either have to do it right now in the middle of the postseason or wait until you're in the middle of spring ball because it opens back up in April. I'm like, it just doesn't make sense. Like we get mad at these athletes for quote unquote giving up on their team, but the NCAA is literally saying if you want to transfer and compete in spring ball at your new school, you have to do it right now in the middle of the season. Yeah. It's atrocious.
Do they do that because they want kids to decide before the champ? Well, I guess not. If January 4th, you know who the champion is, right?
Yeah.
So with this new rule change with the transfers can play immediately, somebody was in here last weekend saying that technically with those new rule changes, like next year, Alabama could have recruited somebody to transfer from LSU for the bowl series, and they could play. Is that true?
No, not in the middle of the year.
Okay. I didn't think so. I was like, there's no way you could do that.
So the rule change was you only get they're inconsistent across the board, but you're only supposed to get one free transfer where you don't have to sit out a year. So you transfer, and then the next season you're immediately eligible. They made it to where now you get 2 transfers, but it doesn't matter because it's inconsistent. You have Quez Watkins at North Carolina, Tez Watkins at North Carolina, who had to sit out the first 4 games of the year. Meanwhile, JT Daniels at Rice is literally on his 4th team. He started at USC, went to Georgia, went to West Virginia, and is now at Rice. So it's just like we're just inconsistent, man.
Yeah. It's so crazy to think that college sports are just like so like that now. Like I was just thinking about like me, I can't even, it wasn't even in my thought process to transfer. Like it wasn't even a possibility because you knew you had to sit out a year.
Yeah.
It was like guys just didn't even think about it.
Yeah.
So interesting. Yeah. Was it on this show that we were talking about it? I listened to a podcast and somebody's take was that because of the transfer portal, we're not seeing quarterbacks develop because they're not in a system for 3 or 4 years and learning plays and learning how to play behind people, and things like that. And then they get into the league and they're not prepared to handle that kind of stuff because they've just left and just tried to, get on a team that's good and like works for them and things like that,
Yeah, we didn't talk about that. I would take a counter argument to that.
Ooh, that's interesting.
Yeah, I do understand the point that we're not seeing quarterbacks develop because they're not like sticking through adversity and all that kind of stuff. But you look at the last several quarterbacks who won the Heisman, they're all transfers.
Yeah.
And you look at who the NFL is taking, like it used to be they want to take juniors who are leaving out of college, young guys who are going to have a longer career in theory. But now like redshirt seniors and grad transfers are the guys who are going early because they have the most experience playing ball. Whether you're playing at one level or the next, like Bo Nix, right? He now has the most games under his belt of any FBS player in college football history.
Oh, wow.
But his year 1 at Auburn, he won SEC Player of the Year, but he shouldn't have. That was garbage.
Did he really?
Yeah, over Derek Stingley.
What?
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah. Okay, but his freshman year, he had a very average season. He played well for a freshman, but he wasn't top 5 quarterbacks in the SEC or anything like that. Now he was 3rd in Heisman contention. Like his game has significantly developed, and so now the NFL is like, maybe we don't have to develop this quarterback as much. This is a sure option because he spent 6 years in college getting ready.
Well, that makes sense.
So I don't know. I think there's a valid point there, but I think there's also a counter argument that's reflective in the draft.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. I never thought about it from that perspective. I like it. I like it. All right, what else we got? We covered releases. I didn't see too many crazy. I did see some cool stuff in the hobby news. I did see. We can talk about this. We'll show some stuff on Thursday. Aaron Judge. I must have signed a deal with TOPPS, or has a deal with TOPPS. Derek Jeter, it's a dual auto card. So the way the dual auto cards work is like TOPPS will send the card to Aaron Judge first. It'll be in his packages, then he signs it, then it gets sent to Derek Jeter, then he signs it. So Judge was the first one to sign the dual card of Jeter and him, and he signed it and then inscribed it and said, "Hey Captain," or like "Hey Cap," or whatever, like with
that's
the little
awesome.
apostrophe. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. So again, TOPPS is letting these guys do cool stuff like that where it makes these cards collectible and makes it have a demand, like this Tom Brady and he inscribed stuff, and the Belichick stuff and all that. So I always love seeing news like that. The hobby, TOPPS is just doing cool stuff, and they're talking about it, marketing it, that kind of stuff. I saw that Panini came out with this really cool like autographs and authentics, so you can get different type of memorabilia and stuff. I'm pretty sure the window is closing today, so if anybody's listening to this and they're trying to get the memorabilia delivered by December 24th, make sure you go to panini.net and you'll get your order in. It's really cool. They were doing some it was like Luka, a bunch of soccer stuff, and they must have a bunch of athletes that they have their contracts with and stuff, but they did some really cool memorabilia pieces. All right, let's get into some picks for tonight. We got NFL, we got Monday Night Football. We got the Seahawks and the Eagles. We don't know if Jalen Hurts is playing, or do we? Have they?
Jalen Hurts is. That's a great point, actually. I don't know. He was traveling separate from the team.
Yeah, they said he has a little bit of an illness.
Yeah. So I don't know off the top of my head if he is playing or not.
You said that you thought that the Eagles were going to crush the Seahawks tonight. Does that change your opinion if he plays, or do you still think that they handle him pretty well?
No, I still think they handle him pretty well. I think you're going to see Drew Lock play for the Seahawks. Geno Smith's likely not going to play either. Yeah. So we've had a lot of backup quarterbacks in the NFL this year. It's been weird.
So many. That's what I feel like. It's like the year. We were talking in the shop yesterday too with one of our regulars, and he was talking about Baker Mayfield probably getting a contract, and I'm like, that's crazy to think about. Like that Baker Mayfield's going to get a $100 million contract potentially.
Yeah, the NFL is like evolving. Like you really do need two deep, solid quarterbacks. But no. So what I'm going with for the game is I still am taking Eagles money line. I think the Eagles are a better team across the board. Even if you put two backups in at quarterback, I'm still taking Eagles. I think they have a better defense. They're better set up to stop the Seahawks offense, their passing attack. Eagles don't have a great rush defense, but I think the Seahawks are going to have to be passing to keep up. And then you go on the other side. DeAndre Swift's a hell of a back as well. Seahawks don't have a great run defense. So if they have to lean on the run game to get it done, I think that'll be just fine for them.
You're saying the Eagles, if the Eagles have to lean on
it? Yeah. So I'm going Eagles money line. I am going DK over 59.5 receiving yards. His average in his last 5 games is he's getting 74.2. So I'm buying 15 yards there. I feel safe about that.
Also, Eagles give up the 5th most receiving yards in the league, and the 9th most yards after the catch. So.
So I might have had it backwards.
No. I was just gonna say, you were right. Because the Seahawks also give up a lot of rushing yards. They're in the bottom third of the league there, and they also give up a lot of passing yards too. So this will probably help your next one.
Yeah. So I have AJ Brown going over 82.5 receiving yards. That's minus 110. For those reasons you just said, I think over his last 5, AJ Brown's had 102 yards a game. So,
I love it.
Yeah, I'll take that. And then the last leg of this parlay is DeAndre Swift over 50.5 rushing yards. He's over his last 5. He has had 71 yards a game.
Who's that?
DeAndre Swift.
Yeah.
71 rushing yards a game over his last 5. And like you said, the Seahawks just don't have a good run defense.
Yep.
Seahawks don't have a great defense, period, anymore. So I feel good about that. That parlay comes out to plus 577.
I love that. Also, I'm looking a little deeper in the numbers. A.J. Brown, 34% of his yards come after the catch, which is the highest on the Eagles. And the Seahawks give up the 6th most yards after the catch to receivers. So we like that. I'm looking at just some other ones. Looks like they give up a lot of passes to the short middle too. So that could be. Did you take just rushing yards for DeAndre Swift? Because doesn't he catch some passes too? DeAndre Swift?
Yeah, I did take just rushing.
Okay.
I did take just rushing because I do think they're going to jump out early.
Nice. That's smart. I always like taking that too, yeah.
Can I get you to lean just back?
Sorry, I'm out of it.
No,
sorry. I was leaning on this. Sorry, I don't know why I was leaning so hard too. I was getting in my research mode. All right, well, I'll do some NBA picks. We got a nice slate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 games. We love that on a Monday. I do always get worried about Monday games for some reason. I'm just like, I feel like the guys are pumped after the weekends. It's like a little bit of a letdown game. But
prime time.
Yeah. All right, so there's a couple things that jumped out to me. I'll go in with my locks after I go over my notes here. So Alpren Sengun, even though, dude, I'm a little salty at him because he's cost me some money on a couple bets this year defensively. The guy, like last night, Giannis, he stopped. I don't know if he stopped him, but like the superstars just don't get their points, rebounds, and assists against him. So I'm taking him for points, rebounds, and assists tonight because the Cavs are in the bottom half of the league against centers in all three categories. Also, they're missing. Oh my God, I'm blanking. Evan Mobley. So I like Sengun to have a nice game tonight. Probably going to dominate the boards. He also gets a lot of assists. His game has really improved this year, so I like that. Again, if you're not taking Joel Embiid, one of my biggest regrets this weekend, I focused on the Saturday football games and I missed the start of Embiid's basketball game. I mean, if you just laddered his points the last 5 games, 8 games, you'd be a very wealthy person. But he's going against the Bulls tonight, and the Bulls are also in the bottom, like literally the bottom 3 teams for points and rebounds against centers. So he has been scoring an astronomical amount of points. So even if you're a little hesitant of him keeping up the points, I like the rebounds ladder. That could be a fun one to do. He's going to dominate the boards. They only have Vucevic. That's the only guy that they have for the Bulls, and he's way bigger than Vucevic. And Vucevic also hangs out on the outside a lot, shoots threes. So I like Joel Embiid to be able to dominate the game in the paint. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, he only scored 25 points last game, so I like him for 30 points tonight. But also, if you wanted to play his PRA, Memphis is in the bottom 5th of the league in points, rebounds, and assists to point guards. So I think Shai should have a nice game. But again, you always got to be worried about blowouts, especially the same thing with the Sixers game. Last 2 games, Joel Embiid has not played the fourth quarter, so something to be worried about there. But another one, if you want a little bit of fun, I don't really ever suggest betting with anybody with the Washington Wizards, but Kyle Kuzma has been balling lately. The Washington Wizards have played decent in their last 3 games. They've won 2 out of their 3. They have a big spread against the Kings tonight, so the books are saying the Kings are going to blow them out. I think it's a lot of points, so I think that Kuzma is going to be involved, and he'll probably have a good game. Points and rebounds are probably pretty safe if you want to play his points, rebounds, and assists. I like that as well. As far as my lines for the night, Minnesota is a 1.5 point favorite on the road against. I'm blanking on who they're playing right now. Let me see. Minnesota's playing the Heat. They are on the road against the Heat. The Heat at home are notoriously bad, especially against the spread. So 2 points. I like Minnesota winning this game. So I'll take the spread on that just because, 2 points is a joke. So I don't think that they have to squeak it out with 1 point. I think they win 4 or 5 pretty handily here. The Heat usually struggle down the stretch at home. I think it's a good matchup if everybody's playing for the Timberwolves. And I checked the injury report. Anthony Edwards is game time decision, but he played yesterday or 2 days ago, so I think he'll be fine. He'll probably play this game today. Also, I like the Rockets getting 3.5 points against – who are they playing here? Where's the Rockets game? It's one of the early games. Oh, against Cleveland. Cleveland's without Darius Garland. They're without Evan Mobley. I just like the Rockets matchup in this one, so I think 3.5 is too many points for them. Cleveland at home does play well. Donovan Mitchell's probably going to have a breakout game because he did not play very well last game, and he usually does really well when Darius Garland's out of the lineup. So I might play a little bit of Donovan Mitchell's points, but I do like the Rockets plus 3.5 in that one. And then I was going to take a money line parlay of all these, but it didn't even get you that good of odds because they're such heavy favorites to win against these 3 dog shit teams. So the Clippers are playing – well, actually, the Pacers are not a bad team. They just give up a ton of points. So I was going to take the Clippers because they've won their last they're on a 7-game winning streak, and they're playing the Pacers. But instead, I'm just going to take their team total over at 124.5. It's an alt over. Their over-under for the game – actually, no, this is their over-under for the game. So I'm going to take a 119 alt over-under for their team points. Atlanta, I'm going to take their team total. They're 3rd in the league in scoring, and they are playing against the Detroit Pistons, who have lost 22 games in a row. So I was going to take that money line, but again, the odds are crazy. So instead, I'm just going to take Atlanta to score their points against them, and I'm going to take them over 123.5. The Kings are playing. We were talking about this earlier, the Washington Wizards, who are playing better of late, but I do think the Kings handle business at home. However, I don't think it's a 12.5 point blowout, so I think that they'll be in the game here. I think the Kings score 121.5. Their over-under is 129.5. That's a lot from me, so I'm dropping it down to 121.5. If you parlay all three of those overs, that gets you to plus 139. I like that a lot. I'm going to throw probably 2 units on that and roll with that. And for my locks of the night, I'm locking in Sengun. Points, rebounds, and assists. I'm going to take his over. I'm going to take Embiid for points, rebounds, and assists. And then I'm going to take Minnesota minus 1.5 on the road against the Heat. Those are my 3 locks. And do we like anything? You like Philly money line tonight, you said?
The Eagles?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the money line juice? What's the spread of the game? It's got to be like 6.5, 7.5.
I don't think it actually was that high.
No, really?
Yeah, let's see. Sorry, I still had the college football bets up. It's minus 3.5, and it's minus 194 money line.
I might drop it down and take 2.5 for Philly. What do you think about that? Minus 2.5?
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, I like that a lot.
What if we did, an alt spread?
My whole prediction, like the whole reason I'm taking DeAndre Swift for 50 rushing yards is because I think they're going to
blow them out pretty well.
Yeah.
And be up late. All right, let's do, since the spread is so low, that's the only thing that scares me is the spread's a little low, but let's take.
Well, it's because of Jalen, but even the
oh, that's true, yeah.
But even the point I made about Gino not playing, I feel like it just evens out.
All right, Philly minus 2.5 is our. All right, let's see if we can we do a let's do something a little crazy. Let's switch up the ladder instead of doing a same game parlay. Who do you like? Who do you think is going to have the best stats in the football game tonight? Like overall player of the game, best stats, or like who's going to have the best game overall?
I think it's one of A.J. Brown or DeAndre Swift.
Okay.
Now I don't. A.J. Brown just has the potential to hit a 80-yard touchdown on a passing play, but I think DeAndre Swift's going to get the most touches.
All right. Let's do a crazy thing where we do like Joel Embiid. I don't like that for 40. He had 40 last game. I don't think he's gonna have 40 again.
I will say, full transparency, DeAndre Swift is starting for me. So if that changes anything for you.
That does. It does change some things. It does change some things. I'm trying to look at like who I think could have a breakout game tonight.
While you're looking that up, you talked about the Bulls and the Kings. Just came out about 30 minutes ago that Zach LaVine said he would be open to a trade to Sacramento. Thoughts there?
I would love it. I told you that. Yeah, I was like, I've been on the Kings super hard this year. Like, I just think they're really good. I love their coach, Mike Brown. I think they're one of the most rounded teams, and if they get Zach LaVine, that's a game changer for them. I think it takes a ton of pressure off De'Aaron Fox having to create offense, having a second true scorer, because he's got another scorer in Domantas Sabonis, but Sabonis is, he's a big man. He's a true stretch forward. So it would be unbelievable. I think it would also take a lot of pressure off LaVine not having to create offense. He can just find his spots on the floor, hit threes, create offense when they need. But like De'Aaron Fox is the guy with the ball, like trying to score at the end of the game. I think that would be an absolute incredible fit. Where if LaVine goes there, I think that makes them a real contender, like an actual real contender for a championship, which would be pretty wild because Sacramento, I don't think has had a team like that in a minute. Speaking of Sacramento, I think I'm going with my big bet. One of my big bets would be, so we're trying to make a ladder. So I'm going to do like people going well above their like over-unders and things like that and see if we can get like 3 things to get to almost like plus 1,000 and see if we can switch it up that way.
And then while you're making that, the Steelers just announced that they're benching Mitch Trubisky. So obviously not having Kenny Pickett hurt them pretty bad. But Mitch Trubisky's being benched. Who is it that's getting the start for them? It is Mason Rudolph. It's the Christmas spirit, right? Mason Rudolph's getting the start.
Mason Rudolph. I didn't even know that was like a real. Again, like I didn't even know he existed.
Yeah, he's the one that yeah, Myles Garrett got him with the helmet a couple years back.
Oh, okay, that's right.
Yeah.
Wait, so he's a quarterback? Wait,
Mm-hmm.
was he a quarterback then?
Yeah,
And Myles Garrett tried to hit him with a helmet?
with his own helmet, with Mason Rudolph's helmet. Yeah.
That's wild. I can picture the guy's face like
Yeah.
that he was swinging at, but I didn't know he was the quarterback.
Yeah, his helmet came off in the play, and Myles Garrett picked it up and hit him with it, his own helmet. Yeah.
I thought it was like a guy that Myles Garrett was like battling with all game. They were heated.
No, the quarterback. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I guess he is with the quarterback too, but I mean, that's phenomenal.
Yeah.
That is phenomenal.
Well, the point I'm making here is Mitch Trubisky was already the backup. He was already the backup. Now he's being benched to let Mason Rudolph start. And let's just backtrack a couple years here. In 2017, the Bears, who originally drafted Mitch Trubisky, traded up to 2 and skipped on Mahomes and Deshaun Watson. I mean, that might be one of the worst picks I've ever. Like, looking back in retrospect, that is a bad pick.
It's definitely not good.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. That's phenomenal. You know what else is phenomenal, which I don't hate at all? De'Aaron Fox, 35-plus points. Luka, 40-plus points. And A.J. Brown, 90-plus passing yards is plus 1481.
Receiving yards?
Sorry.
Yeah.
Receiving yards. His over-under on my book is 78. You
Yeah.
had a what?
On what, DraftKings?
Yeah.
I have A.J. Brown at 82.5.
Wow, that's a big difference here. I got 78.5.
I'm still fine with that.
Yeah.
He's been averaging 102 over his last 5.
That's what I'm saying. I kind of want. So when I throw 100, it goes. If I put 100 plus here, I might lower down Luka's to 35. Luka's numbers are crazy. I might just do points, rebounds, and assists, but this doesn't feel crazy to me. At De'Aaron Fox, his over-under for points for today is 30.5, and we have 35 points here, so it's not crazy. Luka's over-under for the game is 35.5, and we have 40, which is not crazy. And then A.J. Brown, who you said he averages 100?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's 90 plus is plus 130. I guess it's probably because we don't know if Jalen's playing or not, so they don't know if it's going to be him throwing in the ball, but that gets us to plus 1481.
Jalen did travel. He didn't travel with the team. He traveled separate, but he is in Seattle. It's just about whether he's playing or not.
That's interesting. Well, this might be our ladder. I bet you could drop Luka to 35 or De'Aaron to 30 and still be at like 1,000. I wonder which one. I wonder if we could do De'Aaron Fox. We'll just take De'Aaron Fox's like over under. I bet you that's still at 1,000. Let's see. I don't hate this at all. It's a high number for Lucas because he had 40 last game. Low-key really like this. Yeah, that's right at 1,000. I wonder if we did De'Aaron Fox at 30. There it is. Oh, it's plus 900. Fuck. What if we just changed? I'm gonna change Lucas to 35.
What do we got?
Let's see. Sorry. That doesn't work at all. That drops it all the way down to plus 198. What the heck? Oh, they closed the A.J. Brown one. That's why. Why did they close that? They heard us. They knew. I wonder if there's any news about what's his name. Why did they close that? Come on.
If you're interested in college football games today, we got Western Kentucky and Old Dominion in the bowl game.
What bowl game is that?
That is let's see. That is the famous Toastery Bowl.
The what?
The famous Toastery Bowl. I actually did see this. It's pretty funny. The bag tags, you know what I'm talking, like whenever like they bring their luggage, the luggage tags are pieces of toast.
What?
Yeah, with their like that's the graphic. It's a piece of toast with their name on it.
That's funny. DJ Metcalf 80 plus. They changed. They took the odds away for the. Oh man, that stinks. Why do they do that? There must be news coming out right now about like.
Check Bleacher.
Let's check because. Yeah, none of the they took all the. Oh, there we go. I got AJ Brown alt receiving yards.
This is interesting. This did break during the show. It's not related to the NFL, but Jim Harbaugh hinted at a return to Michigan next year. He was the favorite to be the Bears head coach next year. But
what?
It feels like every year we have a conversation about which NFL team Jim Harbaugh is going to coach for. He was before the playoffs last year. He was interviewing for the Vikings job, I think. So he's always in a conversation about which NFL team he's going to head to. But it looks like he'll be back at Michigan again.
Yeah, he'll be back there.
All right, what's the update on AJ Brown?
So I got AJ Brown at plus or over 87 and a half. So 88 yards instead of 90. I'm just trying to find a Luka thing that we like. Let me see if I can find a Luka thing that makes me feel good. That is a little higher than his. Plus 718. So maybe we'll try. Unbelievable. I'm trying to get this right at like 1,000 for the squad. Sorry. What are you laughing about, Abby? You don't want to be part of our show anymore? I'm just kidding.
All right. So Luka, he's hit. What is it that you're looking for?
Well, I'm trying to get a combo. So I'm trying to find. So basically, what I'm doing is I'm trying to find alt point spreads for De'Aaron Fox and Luka. I think I got it. There we go. All right. So
he's gotten 30 or more points in his last 10. Luka has.
Yeah. I'm not worried about 30. I was like trying to decide 35 to 40 in that range.
Points? He's hit 35 in 3 of his last 5.
Yeah. I'm taking over 37 and a half. So 38. So where has he been at 38?
2 of his last 5. His last one was 40. The one before that was 39. So 2 of his last 2, but 0 for 3 in the first 3.
One before, yeah. All right. Well, we got AJ Brown, 88 yards, over 88 yards. Luka over 38 points, and De'Aaron Fox over 32 points, and that gets us at plus 935. So I like that for our $10. $10 wins us 93. What?
Oh.
Did he really?
There you go. That's a headline.
That is a headline. Jaden Daniels opted out of the bowl game. Wow. I mean, I think we could have saw that coming, right?
I think the only reason that we wouldn't have was Malik. Yeah, I think I kind of figured he was going to stay in and help Malik get that record and be the quarterback to do it for him. But, I mean, I understand it. I think with the whole – I hate it, just to be honest. Like, I think it's probably the right move for him, but also this is a controversial opinion, apparently, but I think when you're given a scholarship to play sports, like, I feel like competitors compete. And I'm not saying he's not a competitor,
right.
But, like, I would like to see
you signed up. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I'm with you. I don't like that. I think that's part of the risk is you play in the bowl game and you could get hurt.
Yeah.
You could have got hurt the whole year. You know, like I agree. I understand it on both ends. That's why I'm like, I understand. I'm not sitting here acting like I wouldn't do it or if it wasn't me, you know, like I can't say that. But so I'm with you though. I understand that. It makes sense.
I got nothing but love for Jaden Daniels.
Yeah. Nothing but love. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, thank you guys for being here again. If you enjoy the show, please subscribe. If you know anybody that would enjoy the show or enjoy hanging out with us, share that with them and let us know what else we could be doing better. But if not, thank you guys again. We will see you on Thursday.